Bernie Sanders just acquired 9 delegates. As you know, Bernie Sanders, he was the nominee of the Democratic Party in the United States of America, and that is significant because you have to understand that we have a substantial amount of population outside the United States of America. They are actually completely conditioned to be Europeans. That is amazing that we have our own citizens want to be something else. And that called to my attention this lady in Portugal. She actually attacked me on the internet and all that good stuff. And it's so amazing because she keeps calling herself American and talking about all these decisions that she made to move to Portugal and why. So of course, I'm sort of like funny about that and write to her and say, can you prove to me that you are an American? Of course, she could not, get around that question, so she attacked. That is normally what people like that do, like communists. A communist, especially a United States of America conditioned to be a communist, when you confront them with the harsh reality, it doesn't work. All they can do is attack. They try to diminish you, and it's called rationalization. It's a form of how can I say self-protection. You have to understand that rationalization is a human defense mechanism. So what they do, they tend to find little weakness and try to make those weakness fit their ideas. So if you tell them, hey, communism is being tried all the way as far as the Greeks, the Spartans were communists. All they did was killing everybody, and they were actually trained to be homosexuals. And why they completely disappear from history? Because they end up only 1,000 of them, and they were slaughtered by the other Greeks. So it's not different. It's not different right now. What I'm trying to say is the Bernie Sanders, the communists, have gained 9 electoral college or electorals for the nomination of the Democratic Party. So I hate to say it, but I kind of like Mr. Sanders, and I think it will be amazing, Mr. Sanders versus Mr. Trump, because that will be a very interesting race. Then I will be looking at it like all these young well, actually they don't even know what their ideals are. They follow whatever they put in front of them. But I can say that will be very interesting to see a debate in between 2 old guys, Mr. Trump and Mr. Sanders. Mr. Joe is for sure he might win, but I really doubt. I mean, I myself will actually stop writing names on the ballot and vote for Mr. Trump before I ever give my vote to another bigot, another guy who supported basically John Crow, and that is what it is. I mean, this guy was running around during the 60s and the 70s with the Southern Democrats, bunch of, I mean, these people the worst of the United States ever have created. And Joe is one of them. Touching people, attacking women, and then he's go out there and say, no, the gay people are my friends. Well, guess what? If you are gay, in my opinion, there is no such a thing as a gay man. It's impossible to be a gay man, because gay means happy. If you're a homosexual, to me, that is impossible to be it either. It's just a label, So if you label yourself or already have been conditioned to be gay, and if you already have your mind conditioned to how can I say have a what they call it? Oh, universal income. If your mind is so narrow to defend it, guess what? Trump is your man. Because Trump shows up, a smart guy, with a little rainbow flag. The rainbow flag does not belong to any assigned identity as gay. That flag belonged to the Peruvians, belonged to the Incas, it belonged to the native of this continent. So Trump shows up and then he say, look at me, I have your flag. Not only that, he turns around and say, look at me, I'm going to use this coronavirus excuse, and I'm going to give you $1,000 a week, 1 month, or whatever. So it will be extremely interesting to see Mr. Sanders versus Mr. Trump. And make no mistake about it, these people are completely conditioned into being communist, and we know how that ends up every single time. And there is no difference in between communism and fascism. The Nazis, yes, those Nazis, because what this group of people basically doing is conditioning the population to follow. They actually don't believe in the reality. Their reality is for you to follow, to understand they are going to give you something that is impossible to give, but you will believe it, and when you defend it, they just won. They just got you. So Trump is doing exactly that. I think I never saw Trump as a how can I say, a stupid man, because he's not, but he is a evil man, no doubt about that. I mean, this guy, he doesn't care about the how can I say, the men. They call themselves a new identity, like gay, homosexual, LGBT. It's like they change the name every time. For example, in the South, you know what I know most of. For example, in the South, I'm sitting out here talking to somebody at church. Yes, at church. And a Christian church, what they call an evangelical church, and they help the poor and all this. Well, guess what? You're sitting around the church, and somebody trying to pass a law about something as simple as, you know, bringing in public transportation or lighting, street lighting, and stuff like that. So now, they so narrow and so divisive, and they want to be so alone in their own little world, that they assign different names. I'm going to give an example of it. In the South, the section of the population from African descent, from the African continent in Southern Europe, I might add, they call them prior to Reconstruction, they called them slaves. Now you have to understand that this population was not that great, was not that large, but they carry the economy. So they call them slaves. So now Reconstruction comes around, and now the so-called slaves no longer slaves. So now they're running around the South, creating and expanding agriculture and expanding the United States of America. So now the guys like Joe Biden, they call them negros, and some of them negros and niggers. So now times goes by. World War I and World War II comes around. World War II really was terrible. So now they coming out of that war. They defend this nation. Without them, the nation would not survive with these citizens, United States of America citizens. Now they've been having an assigned color as negros, and they are not allowed to be free like anybody else. So there comes Martin Luther King Jr. and say, enough is enough. You are calling me no negro anymore, and you are not going to divide me anymore, because I'm just as strong as you are, or stronger, because I have survived you. So now, oh, wait a minute, we're gonna change their name. We're gonna call them color. color. So color this and color that, and everybody's colored, right? So now we come with the 1970s and 80s. 1970s and 80s. Now that section of the population not only strive. No, now they are leading. They are leading our country in culture, music, science, mathematics. They help put people in outer space and so on. So now, wait a minute. You don't call me color anymore, okay? I am just like you. Not only that, more important than you, because you right now is still trying to live like back in prior to 1860, and continue to be an evangelical and continue to try to divide me. So they say, oh, wait a minute, we have to change your name again, because these people are really going to go wild. So now, hey, wait a minute, you now are an African American. So as you see, every time that a population decided, hey, enough is enough, how they deal with it is change their names. That is color coding assignment. The same is with the gay guys. They are no gay guys. They are no queer guys. They are no homosexual guys. They are are another man. They like have sex with, I don't know, somebody else of the same sex. Listen, the reality is the humans, animals, everything that move, their sexuality is whatever it happens, whatever. It has no rules. It has no etiquette. It has no how can I say break. You cannot stop it. And it is designed that way for that reason. If you line of thinking or you learn to have sex with another guy by institution or just by nature, it doesn't matter. Guess what? You're going to disappear. That is why the Spartans disappeared. All these ancient how can I say, civilizations, the practice a control of sex, they all have disappeared. And that is what we're doing right now. Our enemies are trying to change their names. Every time the people start complaining and say, hey, I'm not this, and they are passing laws to control, to promote, or stop the spread of it, or to just control you overall. For example, taxes on marriage. That is basically a control of sexuality, and that will bring us death. That's it, disappear. We will disappear. If you start telling a child, you cannot get married until you have a what do you call a way of income, or a way to make income, or you cannot have children unless you have a husband with money, or you cannot have children unless you have an education or a job or whatever. Basically, what you're doing, you are destroying your own culture. You are destroying your own line of biology, because what you're saying is, don't follow your nature. Stop following who you really are, an animal. The only purpose on this planet is to procreate. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. That is your only purpose. And guess what? Mr. Sanders is promoting exactly that. Mr. Sanders is just promoting communism. And communism is the control of sexuality, the control of movement, the control of the people. If I don't think like you are going to terminate me, just like that. And that it will not happen in the United States. It will never happen in the United States. And you see McCarthyism during McCarthy times, how McCarthy started attacking the communists, and he actually was shut down. And after that, they really propagate this idea of communist idea. And that is where we are now. We are in a very interesting times, very interesting time, and see who's going to win. We'll see who's going to win. I can say this: communism in this country, it can arrive. Sure, it's already here. We got Sanders, but also remember what I just said. We had a civil war, a war in between the states. A war in between the states, because slavery was communism. That is the only way you can be a communist. You can be a communist when you get people to work for nothing. It's called slavery, and you can call it anything you want to. You can call it how can you say voluntarism. I can only even pronounce it. And it's anyway, if you're a voluntary to do whatever, that is what communism is. They're going to destroy you. And if you think that because you label yourself LBET or whatever 3-letter code is, or black or white or Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. When they get a hold and you start talking and disagreeing with these people, they are going to get evil on you. And guess what? Some people, I say 150 million in the United States of America, they are ready naturally. This is no train. This is no. You don't have to create a group. You don't have to do absolutely nothing. They just natural. these people will fight you. you will never corral these people. And one example is right now they scaring everyone, hey, don't go to the beach. But guess what, the young people, they fear not, and they are going to go to the beach, and they know they're healthy, and they know they will survive. And I think that is beautiful to see that, to see what do you call the government of the United States of America using these powers that I don't even know if they have it. Some people say the 10th Amendment give them that power, but I don't see it. I read it and I don't see it. It does say in case of emergencies and all this, but I don't see it. So they utilizing all this power, and the kids, the one that really naturally had this power inside them, they was given to them by nature. Guess what? They are swimming right now in the beach. So you all guys, I think you need to go swimming in the beach and learn from the biology that you have created.